Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to work on a model kit, start a brand new one. I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start the stream off right by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego to the Scythe, the tier 2 blue emote into the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can use other people's emotes. You can also be a lurker. You can just say hi. You don't have to say anything at all. You can just hang out. That's okay. Yeah, that's about it. It is a Saturday night, and we are starting the Lightning Z Gundam. This is a Gundam Build Fighters Try kit. It is the Zeta Gundam with some extra bullshit. It is a 2015 kit, which makes it, 10 to 11 years old. Let's just say 11. At least 10 years old, which feels 2015 doesn't feel 11 years ago to me, because 2020 fucked up my sense of time, just pretty much in general. So I'm like, whatever, that's not that long ago. It is. It's an old kit at this point. But it is from the period where, to me, Bandai hit their modern sweet spot, started beginning. Obviously, Witch from Mercury is the actual sweet spot of modern model kit design, because they've almost completely eliminated polycaps. And so that's tremendous. And of course, there are other kits that benefit from that as well. But it started with which Mercury has like no kits with polycaps. I think maybe one of the high grades, which is sensational. These obviously going to have a lot of polycaps, but they did modernize a lot of stuff in the mid 2010s, especially with the instruction booklets, are far superior to like 2013 kits. So good. Lorcan says, "Hey Pat, it's a certain person in power has created an alternate feeling over time over the past 10 years. Yeah, I mean, that's also certainly, I will say, hey Lashbrook, for me anyway, for your friend Pat, really it's that time has felt very displaced because of my situation here. This is the house I live in, but I have not, and I choose not to, and I will not consider this the place that I like. This is the place I stay. I don't live here. I didn't move here. I traveled here, and I'm staying here, but I don't live here. And that's important to me because it means that I haven't moved to the place that I'm going to live in after my time in New York. I'm here temporarily. Which is foolish, I know, but I have not accepted it. So that has stunted. I occasionally think, I've only been here for 3 years. No, I haven't. I've been here longer than that. I haven't been here 6 years yet, but we're getting there. We're close to 6 years. So, Lord Crashes is on a 395 stream streak. That's a lot of streams. Thanks for stopping in all the time. We are currently at 24 subscribers. The goal is to get to 30. I do shut up about the number of subscribers that I have once I hit 30. So if you'd like me to stop talking about that, a way to do that is to just subscribe or gift a sub. You could be, right now, you, the viewer of this stream, in the moment here on Twitch, you could be somebody that makes it happen so that I don't have to talk about it. You could gift a sub. That is the thing you could do. I'm going to check one thing real quick here. I realized today that it's basically been 6 years since the pandemic started for most folks. Yes, Lord Crashington. I know this because for me, the pandemic started when I got back from PAX East. PAX East, there were some people that didn't travel to that fairly early PAX East. They didn't go to PAX East because internationally they didn't feel like traveling. And Nintendo said you don't have to come. GDC got canceled during that PAX. And then in March, Emerald City Comic Con canceled. And when Emerald City Comic Con canceled, it really became real for a lot of people. I just want to check one thing real quick. My apologies. And then I'll continue with this. Okay. Not as many views as I would like for Pondo Michi, but most people don't know what it is, and it's not in the English language, so it's okay. Whatever. Sorry, I had to check something. Emerald City Comic Con was a fascinating case where they didn't want to cancel the event because that's money, right? And fans didn't want to cancel it because a lot of people still didn't think COVID is a big deal. And also, Emerald City Comic Con, which is in Seattle, the thing with Emerald City Comic Con is that like the majority of people attending it are from Seattle or from Vancouver and also Portland area as well. But it's not a convention that people travel across the country to go see, but it is a convention that people travel from around the world to table at. So the real reason that Emerald City Comic Con canceled that year in 2020, I'll get started on this kit, but I'll keep talking about this. Wasn't because of attendance. It wasn't because of the state of Washington. It wasn't because of the city of Seattle. It was because people who were going to table there or do panels got cold feet. A number of them, for health concerns, decided, I'm not going to fucking go to this thing. I'm hearing about people getting sick at C2E2, GDC canceled. I'm not doing this. And I remember I had friends who canceled, and they were receiving, let's just say, negative comments from attendees being like, you're one of the reasons I was going to go. And like, they would be like, I don't have health insurance, so I'm not going. It's like, it doesn't seem like it's going to be that big a deal. And then it was like, no, this doesn't make any sense. So they canceled it. And a lot of people were unhappy about that cancellation. But it was the right thing to do. It was the smart thing to do. Let's go to the overhead camera and we can start getting into some of this stuff. But yeah, to me, that's when lockdown happened around that time. But for me, that was like the beginning of all of that, was the necessity to be like, okay, well, yeah, all right. And when my theater closed down about 2 hours before New York City was like, hey, stop going to places. I remember when Sony pulled out of GDC and gamers were weirdly claiming they overreacted, but then they were vindicated. Yes, Sony was just like, yeah, we're not doing stuff at GDC. And then GDC took fucking forever to cancel as well. It took so long that by the time they did cancel, I had a joke. I had a joke at Improvised Postmortem about GDC, and I was like, I almost changed this to GDC is canceled this year, but they haven't canceled yet. And then someone yelled, they did an hour ago. And I was like, oh, shit, okay. Like, they canceled during PAX East, basically, because they were hearing that a number of people were like, we're not coming to this. We're not doing anything at this. You shouldn't be doing this. But yeah, people were confused a lot about those things. But yeah, I mean, it was generally, like, internationally. It's just like, hey, I don't want to be in, there's an airborne virus going around. I'd like to not be in an airport, which, makes fucking so much sense. Unrelated to COVID, we'll talk about AEW's pay-per-view that's happening tomorrow night, Revolution. There have been some updates. Collision is still happening. Other updates might come out, but right now there have been some updates for the matches set on Collision. And so I'm going to talk about that. I should say that briefly before I get into that. I started doing the head on this kit because it has a bunch of stickers, and I wanted to get those stickers done early. We're going to do the chest, which doesn't have any stickers, next. I skipped it. I don't often skip around. I usually do build order that is presented to me, but I just wanted to get some of these tiny stickers done. This kit does have some color correcting stickers and some weapon stickers, and then I think like a little bit of sticker stuff that goes on the arms. And none of that's going to be too hard, but the tiny green stickers, I just wanted to get done while I could. So I did. If you were wondering why I'm suddenly doing a step I don't normally do as early. Then we're going to panel line this. And then we will put on the rest of it. And then we will assemble the whole ding-dang thing. Let me just go on there. So Revolution is happening tomorrow night. I talked about the card on Thursday. It has been updated on Collision. So I'll give you some of those updates. The first update, which is the most minor, is that Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, and Roderick Strong versus the Dogs Finley, Clark Connors, Gabe Kidd, is now a Tornado Trios match. And I still think the dogs are going to win, even if it is a tornado style match. Basically, there's no tags. It's just a 3-on-3 brawl. I actually think that's better for the dogs, who are going to want to, they were going to want to cheat anyway. Now they can just do whatever they want to do. I still think they're going to win that. Let's see. Any other changes? Yes. So we did know that Big Boom AJ, the Costco man, not to be confused with the Costco boy or the boy that is not related to the Costco man or the Costco boy. There's just their neighbor or whatever, the Rizzler. Instead, we got to talk about Big Boom AJ. He does have a match. It has been confirmed. That was confirmed on Ring of Honor TV, that Big Boom AJ and QT Marshall are in a tag match against the Infantry, Captain Sean Dean and Charlie Bravo. Big Boom AJ is going to win with QT. I do not expect Big Boom AJ to have his first loss be against the Infantry, a 2/3 of the ROH Trios champions. That just doesn't feel like a thing. At some point, he's going to face somebody that is going to beat him, because he'll need to do that at some point. I don't think it's going to be this tag team, unless they're, going to do something with him, but I don't think so. I guess QT could turn on him and allowing them to win, but I feel like even if QT turned heel, Big Boom would still win. AJ would still get things done. And then the big one, the 21-man Blackjack Battle Royale for the AEW National Championship. Originally, we only knew that Ricochet and Tommaso Ciampa was in it. Now we know more names. Trent Beretta is in it. Rocky Romero is in it. So we'll see two members of the family in there, Don Callis family. Dralistico, Roosh, so two members of LFI, Scorpio Sky, Daniel Garcia, Anthony Bowens, and Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata. So two members of the Ops and an Ops trainee. And then also Juice Robinson, Austin Gunn, and Ace Austin. So three members of the Bang Bang Gang. That is what they're doing with Juice Robinson. That makes me a little sad that this is what Juice Robinson is doing. And then 7 more people that we don't know. So we got 7 surprises. But as of right now, that's it. I still think Ricochet is going to win. Jack Perry has not been mentioned yet. I feel like he will be the Joker. He will be the one we don't know. He'll come in last. He'll be the 21st man. That is my guess. That's my guess. But I still think that Ricochet is going to win the whole ding-dang thing. All right, D18 F24. F24 is easy to find. It's the VFIN. So those are the changes. The rest of the card so far is the same. Again, we have more time for this to get updated, but those are the updates that have come in. I'm doing a pick'em with some friends, so I have to update that. I made a spreadsheet or a quiz in Google Forms, and I got to go in and edit that because now I have more names to include on the multiple choice for the pre-show match, and I got to update the other pre-show match and update the stipulation for the Orange Cassidy piss break match of the night. Unfortunately, with a match with Darby Allin and the Dogs, that's a fucking piss break. An easy piss break. I hope it isn't first on the card. I hope they put it in the middle so I can get up and stretch and pee and whatever. Because I don't need to see that match. Real bummed about that. Love Orange Cassidy. Wish he was in a real good match and not that. Still, they did not add any more matches, so it's still 10 matches on the main card, 3 on the pre-show. It's a lot of matches. It's a lot of matches. All right, let's get this on here, and then we are done with the head, which again, we skipped to that. Oh, I got to do a little panel lining, but. Okay. Why don't you want to go on? There it is. There it is. All right, and then just a little bit of black marker on the V-fin, and we're good. So yeah, I'm going to watch that pay-per-view tomorrow. We'll go over what happened on it on Monday. I'm excited. It's been since December that we had an AEW pay-per-view. So, because they didn't do a joint show in January with, they didn't do the not Wrestle Dream, the Dream Dynasty, or so, whatever it was called. They did a joint event last year with New Japan that I wasn't great, but they did do it. All right, we'll just do a quick double check here, see if there's any updates in the second hour. I feel like this is probably the same. That feels like they haven't made any changes yet. Oh, no, sorry. Update. Jack Perry is in the Blackjack Battle Royal. He has been confirmed, so he is not the Joker for it. That means that it may be a debut or a return. Or just a wrestler, and it won't be anything, but it could be somebody. Could be. Could be a name. Or could be nothing. But yeah, all right. Jack Perry's in it. There is a chance Jack Perry could pull this off. I don't think he's going to, but he could win the belt in this. And then Ricochet would have a reason to be like, you didn't beat me one-on-one. So, and they keep the feud going. You know, that's a thing. That's wrestling. That is a thing in wrestling that they could do if they wanted to. Yeah, I'll keep my eyes peeled on that and see if they update that at all. I don't think there's any other changes on the card. We'll see. See if anything happens to it. This is not gaming news, but there is a little bit of news that I thought I would mention. So you may remember a few years ago, BuzzFeed decided that, this is in 2023, they were making a hard pivot to AI. They thought AI would help them write quizzes. That did give a boost, a stock boost, saying that they were doing, because people were still, buzzwords of that were still good for them. And they were like, and then people were just like, that sounds dumb. That seems like a dumb idea. They later got rid of their news division and laid off a bunch of people. And part of that was because of this pivot to AI to save money. Also because they were just so in debt that they had to do things to not be in debt. And one of the ways they thought was that AI was going to make things easier for them. So it wasn't just quizzes, of course. I feel like BuzzFeed's always on the cutting edge of the hottest bullshit to pivot to for the money. Yes. I think that's a fair assessment, Lord Cratchton. Now, the thing to, of course, remember is that it didn't work. And it wasn't just quizzes. They were using AI to write summaries and articles. And they were getting called out for it, of course. So they're still in debt. They have been in debt. They've been at like hundreds of millions of dollars in debt for a very long time, and they're still in debt. So this pivot did not turn the sales. It did help tank their sales price, their stock price. Their stock price has been in the toilet for quite some time and will remain there because people just know that this is a company that is not worth it anymore. Thank you for the follow, Pumpkin Yin. I appreciate that. Welcome. We're working on the Lightning Z Gundam from Gundam Build Fighters Try. which is a Zeta Gundam with a bunch of other nonsense. Hello. All right, let's see if we can get this together. Might need to just, yeah. It looks like these mounts here for these polycaps that are going to mount for the shoulders, or for the arms, I should say. It looks like these aren't going to fall out, which is nice, but also getting them properly in is a little annoying, but we'll do our best. You don't know Gundam though. It's all right. The only thing you need to know about this kit is, so the thing with build fighters and build fighters try and build divers is that they are shows where the main characters take Gundams in their world. It's a show within a show. In their world, the Gundam franchise is entertainment, and Gunpla model kits exist. And they take those model kits and modify them to then do virtual battles with them. So it is in some ways a love letter to model kits and taking model kits and adapting them, kit bashing them, as it were. So a lot of, almost exclusively, that show is like really smart in the fact that it is fun, but also it means you can take old kits, change them around, and sell them again. So it's just like, hey, you like the Zeta Gundam? What would you think about having the Zeta Gundam with a bunch of extra nonsense on it? To which most, not all, but a lot of fans were like, yeah, that sounds good. I don't really like the show, but I like all these model kits. You took this thing, you did that, and like, oh, heck yeah. You took a Death Scythe and you put in parts from a mobile suit from Gundam X, and then you gave it spider arms for some reason. Yes, I'll buy that kit. And in fact, I have bought that kit. That was one of the first Build Fighters kits I ever bought, because I was like, this is sort of a Death Scythe. I'm going to get that. All right. These don't love to stay where they're supposed to, but I think once I put the back piece on, which is next, it'll be better. One of the best things about model kit building, in my opinion, is that you can just buy stuff you think looks cool. Because there's some Gundam series that I'm not super familiar with. I'm aware of them, but I'm not like super duper familiar. But it's just like, I don't know, that looks neat. I'll get that. Like, oh, yeah, that one looks cool. I'll pick that up. And you can just kind of do that. All right, so yeah, it's going to go like that. All right, and then B123 is the neck piece. Get the neck piece in there. So yeah, BuzzFeed, they're still horribly in debt. But they're still going with AI, and they're gonna have they still think that might be the way to right the ship of BuzzFeed, but I think the ship has sailed. Obviously their news stuff was top notch when it existed. That was definitely a thing. And yes, of course. Oh, I did miss a piece. That's one of the reasons why things are a little off on here, is I did miss a piece. So I gotta take this back plate off. One of the things about BuzzFeed was obviously the quizzes were a thing that brought people to the website, which is in the year 2026 is a laughable idea that people go to a website. They go to like 8 websites and take a look at those websites. Like that. That's just unfortunately not a thing anymore. People like maybe follow links to a site for that, but they don't go to the homepage and like look at the things. In general, that is definitely not a thing that happens as much anymore. It certainly does happen sometimes. Don't get me wrong, but it's not a continuous thing like it used to be. This is gonna go like that. Huh? You go like that. No. There it is. That's where you go. You're going like this. Okay. There's like a little track that this goes through. There it is. Okay. I haven't worked on a Zeta Gundam in a long time. Good to remember. And then it goes like that. That makes more sense. Okay, I was like looking at it, I'm like, this seems like something's off on this kit. It turns out I wasn't doing it right. Good to know. Let's see. There was some stuff, some good stuff from the Game Developers Choice Awards. So there's the GDC Awards. There's also the IGF Awards. There are two award shows associated with GDC, the Game Developers Choice Awards, and the Independent Games Festival Awards, which is, it's not part of GDC, but it happens at GDC, so it's its own thing. One of the things about that is that it's the whole thing is that this is the game that won isn't available. You can play the demo if you want to play the demo for Titanium Court. You can play the demo. They won the best independent game at the 20th annual Independent Games Festival because people submit their games before they come out. Now sometimes they do come out. I have never been to CES. No, the Consumer Electronics Show. I did have a chance to go one year. It made sense for me to go, but I don't enjoy. It's been a long time since I've been to Vegas, but I did not enjoy my time there, and so I needed like a good reason to go. And there was a work related reason, but that unfortunately didn't manifest itself. But yeah, there was a period where it was like, also it's in January when at like 1 year it was like, oh, I could maybe go to this, but a lot of that was, the problem with that was like there'd be years where maybe there was PAX South in January or PAX East was going to be early that year, and I just couldn't, like, that was my PAX East was like the con that if I was going to a convention that year, it was going to be PAX East outside of New York conventions, of course. Like I was going to go to New York Comic Con. I was maybe going to go to Anime NYC, but I wasn't going to go. I did go to two PAX Souths, yes. I went to the first ever PAX South and then the second PAX South. And then I didn't go after that. And then PAX South stopped being a thing. But I did go to the first two. Had a good time at PAX South. It was nice. That was in San Antonio, Texas. And San Antonio was very nice in January. The first year was the year that there was a blizzard in the Northeast where I was living at the time in New York. And so getting home was tough. Second year, no problems at all. That was a fun convention. The real problem was that it was in January, and PAX East is not the same weekend every year. The big convention center, basically the way that building works, which other buildings around this country do. What I'm about to tell you sounds bizarre, I know, but this is how they run, and other places also run this way. It's not just them. They run. So you have a contract with this convention center, right? You have a contract with Boston, right? The Boston Convention Center, and you're like, okay, great. We've got a contract with you for the next 6 years or whatever. And they say, excellent. We'll let you know what dates are available once we get through everybody ahead of you in line. Because you don't just pick the same weekend. You have an order that you can. Pumpkin, all of the PAX Souths were all in San Antonio. They were only in San Antonio in the same place. The first year, it was some of a convention center, and then over the next few years, they started taking over more and more of the convention center. But it was always in the same venue. Just like I said, more later. So you basically get an order of when you can pick. And now some conventions don't want to be the same weekend. and there were events that had precedent. So PAX basically was having to wait out, like a Reed would have to wait out other places to stop wanting to do conventions. So they moved up in the line, but they never moved up higher in the line where they could always guarantee. Like the Washington Convention Center, they just had that, this 4-day weekend is the weekend we have every year. South, they could pick within the same month. East is sometimes February, sometimes March, sometimes April. And that was a nightmare because there were years where PAX East was a month after, 6 weeks after PAX South. And so I was like, well, I'm not going to that. And then PAX Unplugged happened. And the best thing about PAX Unplugged for me, your friend Pat, was I could take the train because it was in Philly. And taking the train from New York to Philly on Amtrak, that's not bad at all. It was cheap, obviously cheaper than flying, and it didn't take too long at all. And that meant that I could do a day trip if I wanted to, which was pretty great. Thank you for the follow, Master. Appreciate that. But yeah, that was at the time, it was just so nice that I could just, take a train there. And now I did fly 2 years to PAX Unplugged, but I am not. Right now, I don't have any plans to do that again. I was thinking about this year. This year, I was definitely considering a PAX, but especially PAX Unplugged. I was definitely considering PAX Unplugged this year. It's in Philadelphia. It's in December in Philadelphia, so there's snow. But there's Christmas stuff all over the place, and they do a big Christmas market thing that's pretty great in Philly. That's fun to see. But there used to be a direct flight that was very cheap from my local airport to Philadelphia, and that has gone away. And so now it's just the expensive flights. So that makes it harder for me to go. And then also, I have friends who are from Canada, the fine folks at Loading Ready Run, and a bunch of them don't want to go to America right now. They do not want to fly into America, and that I fully respect and understand. At our current political climate, totally understand their kind of worry about traveling. So I probably won't go to Unplugged this year, but I would like to get back to Unplugged at some point. I mean, I'd also like to do New York Comic Con again and all that. Like, I don't know. It would be nice to see people. Unplugged is like a small subset of the people I would like to see. I did see that PAX East this year, some of the Giant Bomb folks are going to PAX East, and that's neat. And I would have been nice to see some of the GB folks that are still around and hanging out. But yeah, that's not gonna happen. I am right now saving up to maybe go to New York for a couple days, New York City, this year. I'm trying to schedule that and make that happen. That is a personal goal to make that happen there. I basically want to go and get stuff out of my storage unit that's just sitting there. And I want to throw away a bunch of stuff in that storage unit and then ultimately close that storage unit. But we'll see. All right. I can now do the parts on here that are kind of like the shoulders that connect. I wanted to panel line this a bit before I did that, but now we can move on to that. Let's see. The GDC Awards, I'll kind of just say what those are. Claire Obscure won the top prize. They won. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 won at the GDC Choice Awards here. Best Debut, Best Visual Arts, Best Narrative, Best Audio, and Game of the Year. Consume Me won Social Impact, which is cool. Social Impact is a category that I do feel weird about in many instances, but in this instance, I think it makes total sense. That is a game that is saying something, and that is not nice for it to be acknowledged in front of a huge audience like that. So that's awesome. Okay, so B16 and B19. B19, it goes on this side. The audience award went to a game called And Roger, which I am not familiar with, but that's cool. Innovation award went to Blueprints. Death Stranding 2 On the Beach won Best Technology, and Best Design also went to Blueprints. I would give Blueprints my fuck, I stopped playing this for too long, god damn it, award for 2025. Because I played that, a bunch of that in February, and then I took a break and I tried to go back to it like a couple days ago, and that's just not going to work out. That is not gonna do what I want it to do. I don't remember how that shit works. I might just start over. But Blueprints, pretty fucking cool. I'll say that. Let's see. Any other news stuff here? Hey, in like, hey, that's pretty fucking good for 1 week news. Slay the Spire 2 has sold over 3 million copies. And it's just in early access. So 1 week of early access, 3 million copies. That is a $25 game. So that is that's a chunk of fucking change. That'll get them to the, certainly one wouldn't assume will help them get to the finish line. And congratulations to them for that. That's fucking rad. I have heard that there have been some exploits and there are some bugs in that, but it's early access and that is to be expected. But yeah, people are still really digging it. Let's see. Players have already gone on in a week. They said they gave some data here that I think is pretty valuable. 250 million runs, 80 runs per person on average. So our team has been extremely excited. 5 years, just beginning. It's only in early access on Steam, of course. No timeline on full release, but it's teasing some areas they're going to work on, which is remapping of the scoring system. And they're also going to have right now they don't have a friends-only leaderboard, so they're going to be able to filter for just people on your friends list, which is cool. They're going to add some accessibility options for phobias, related phobias, which to me says that there are fucking spiders in this game. That's my guess, that there are spiders. That feels like code for, yeah, we're going to have a thing where the spiders aren't spiders. It could be another phobia, but that is generally the one that gets changed in games. More art and FVX, or VFX, what am I saying? Balance patches, Steam Workshop support, some multiplayer features, and a Twitch plugin integration, which sounds cool. I'm excited to hear what that is later. And there will be a beta branch for early access folks to test it ahead of time. Cool. And there was a balance patch. And the notes for the balance patch are: players, enemies, and pets can no longer have their HP increased above 999,999,999. So a little less than 1 billion points. Apparently, there was an exploit to let you do that. And some bugs fixes. You don't have to apologize. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chatting. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm here Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at this time. Lord Crash says, is that a lot? No worries. Thanks for stopping in. I hope you have the chance to stop in again. I'll still be here. But yeah, thanks for coming in. And Lord Crashing, to answer your question, your sarcastic question, yes, 1 billion HP is a lot, and that was not intentional. I do love the idea that you can make pets. That, to me, that's a feature. That's not a bug. That's a feature. If you're just like, my pet can't die easily. That sounds good to me. I hear that and I go, hell yeah, brother. PC 0023. These ones. We can do a lot of the arms here. We're moving on to the arms, everybody. And we can do a lot of the arms at the same time. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Any updates to... Does not seem to be any other updates to the card here as we close in at the end of Collision. But I'll check again right before 10 to see if there's any other changes that get made. But I think that's probably all of the changes in there, which is good. That means I can after the stream, I can update the pick'em and then send it out to my friends so they can get their votes in and their votes can be heard. And I can do it myself because I haven't done it yet because I was waiting for matches to get added. And then, of course, tomorrow they might add a 4th pre-show match. Hopefully they don't, but they might. And if they do, that's fine. It's fine if they do. I don't want them to, but it is fine. Lot of matches. As I said, only one match that's the piss break match. Yeah, I'm looking at this. Is there any match that I'm like... I mean, I don't really care to... I don't care who wins FTR versus the Young Bucks, but I know it'll be a quality match. Like, it'll be good to watch. I just am bored with it. I don't need it. I don't need to see 2 of the best tag teams in the world face each other right now. I'm just like, I'm all right. Okay. I read a interesting theory that was that Lena Cross versus Willow Nightingale, they're going to get Lena's going to get disqualified like almost immediately because it's just going to be an attack by her and Megan on Willow, and they're just going to beat Willow up. And because they don't care about the singles belt, they want to win the tag belts later. And that way Willow and Lena don't have to have like an 8-minute match and then also a tag match later. And I was like, oh yeah, they could do that. So that would suck, but they could do it. But I do have as yet unnamed tag team of Megan Bayne and Lena Cross winning the tag belts, I think. And then Willow will just have the one belt, the TBS title. I don't think Lena Cross, a month after she became all elite in AEW, is going to have 2 belts, but maybe they will do that. I don't think they will. They could choose to do that again. It doesn't feel like the play, but they could have big thoughts for her. But yeah, I don't think Willow's losing 2 of her belts, but I think she's losing one of them. And for the first time in AEW history, there will be 4 women who will have championship belts. Because right, look at it. Let me check AEW title reigns here, real quick. Title reigns. No, that's not what I wanted. Overview. All Elite Wrestling titles. Willow Nightingale. Willow Nightingale has... She won the TBS. She won the world... Okay, so I'm sorry. The second time. She won the tag belts before she won the TBS. So there was a period where 4 women held belts in AEW, and it was a period of about a month, 3 weeks. And then since then, it's just been... Okay, so I was wrong about that. I thought it was the other way around, and I was incorrect. All right, let's get some of this going here. We'll work on some ARM stuff here. As far as next week goes, Tuesday, I will be running the one new map in Power Wash Simulator 2. I loaded up the game to figure out how easy it was to find that new map, and it was actually very easy to find it. So I will be working on that on Wednesday. If it takes the whole stream, that's fine. If it doesn't, then I'll load up like a demo or something, to finish off the stream. But we'll do that. I think that'll be good. I haven't started yet. I want to... Look, I could do it and then just start over, but I don't want to do that. I want to be fresh with it. So I've been waiting to play it, and I really want to. So I'm glad that we'll get to do that on Tuesday. And of course, next month there will be a whole expansion, page. We'll have to get the money ready for that. But all right, then I need E2 and E1 and 1. All right. But yeah, I am excited for that on Tuesday, and of course, Monday and Thursday and Saturday working on model kits. I don't expect any days. I don't have any days that I'm taking off this month. I think I'm doing all of the streams that I normally would. I would have taken tonight off if Revolution had happened on Saturday, but when it's not football season, the big boss man Tony Khan does often Sunday pay-per-views, and I don't mind that at all. I'm happy about that myself. All right, which way did this face? Faces in. A little hard to see on this instruction book, but I think it looks like this. I think it goes like this. We'll find out. We'll find out if I fuck this up in a bit, but I think I'm doing this correctly. But again, if I'm messing it up, it's okay. I'll fix it later. It happens sometimes. But I think this is the right way. And then this goes into there. Cool. And then 4 and 4. So yeah, that's about it. So next Tuesday is Power Simulator. Following Tuesday is Pat Bear's Anime Club Live. So that'll be a live recording of that. And then the Tuesday after that, will be Hearthstone, because Tuesday there's a Hearthstone expansion, and so I'll wait a couple weeks to figure out some decks and do that. And then I did get a game that was on discount that looked pretty cute called Piece by Piece. It was already on sale as an introductory, and because I had Bear and for some reason it was part of a package with Bear and Breakfast, which I already owned. So even though you can't buy it again, but the thing Steam does is you can still get the other part of the bundle for cheap. So I got the new game for cheap because it was part of a bundle, because I already had the other part of the bundle. And I was like, oh, all right, I'll do that. But that game looks cute, and I would like to play that in April. And you know what? I will play that in April, because, yeah. I should see what did they say the date for? Did they say the date for the Adventure Time update? Nutsville, the miniature village. I know about that one. What's your deal? Available April 9th. Okay, so April 9th is the Power Simulator first pack for 2, Adventure Time. So that'll be an option for Patreon's choice. I feel like it's going to win the Patreon's choice vote. Maybe it won't. Maybe my $3, $5, and $10 patrons will go, no, Pat, we don't want to see you play Power Simulator 2 Adventure Time pack. Instead, play this other thing. I don't know. But I at least got to go through the motions. I think it'll win the poll, but I still have to at least, put it up for a vote. I could, I guess, postpone the vote, but that seems foolish to do. I don't, you know what? Honestly, I'm going to say it right now, folks. I don't like talking about April. I feel like this year is moving too fast. If I'm already talking about things that are going to happen, if I'm already talking about April 9th, get out of here. What are we talking about here? St. Patrick's Day already? That's coming on Tuesday. I'll have a green t-shirt on for my stream on Tuesday night. Can you fucking believe it? Because I'll probably not put on a shirt just for the stream that is different from the shirt I'm wearing that day. Probably. Because I have a shirt with the Irish flag on it. It's green, so I'm going to wear that. We have company coming over, which is nice. And Mom's doing the corned beef and cabbage. We are doing the American traditional St. Patrick's Day meal. Of course, not the not necessarily an Irish tradition. We'll go with the Irish American traditions because, of course, we're also, got a bunch of green all over the place and all the things that you do when you're celebrating a holiday that is not as celebrated as much in its home country, but is in America. There'll be Guinness and Guinness brownies and all kinds of things. It'll be good. Got some Irish cheese, Irish cheddar that I can't wait to get into, and I'm not frustrated that I can't get into it yet, but I am patiently waiting for its arrival. I want to get into it because I really do like that. So we'll see. It'll be good. We got all kinds of stuff. It's going to be real good. We're not doing soda bread because nobody really likes it in the house that much. I like a piece of soda bread. I don't need a bunch of soda bread just sitting there waiting for me to finish it off because nobody else is eating it. That's what I don't need. I don't need to be held responsible for finishing it because nobody else wanted to. I don't need that kind of pressure. What I'm saying. All right. Oh, excuse me. I'm yawning. That's unprofessional of me. To get yawn boy. So much yawning. All right, we'll do a little panel lining here before we take the pause for the cause, and I talk about ways you can support the channel and all those things. We'll just get a little panel lining in here. A little bit. Just between us, just for funsies. Of course, the second hour, we'll talk about ways you can support the channel and all that, and the pause for the cause. And then we'll also talk about some anime. Get caught up on a fucking action-packed episode of Frieren and an action-packed episode of Easy Territory Defense. Two pretty action-packed episodes for your Saturday. Okay. Let's see. Was any other updates to Collision? So far, no other updates on Collision. So we'll just get things going there. Still have Frieren started a little late this season and also took a week off because of the Olympics. So it's gonna be a little while before that wraps up, which is okay. Whereas some other shows are gonna be wrapping up soon. I'm going to have to wait to recommend Frieren into the month of April. But also, I'm still going to recommend season 2 of Frieren because it still fucking whips. It's still real good. Even if it's been a little slow, the slow is great. It's one of the things about it that's excellent is the slow pace. But again, this episode had the fucking action. Clean this up there. Clean this up here. Okay. All right, these parts of the arms are done. We still got to do the bigger parts of the arms. We will have some stickers, unfortunately, in the second hour to apply. but they are these gold stickers, and they're not that small. They are small. They're not that small. We will apply all of those. I don't love that, but we got to do it. I mean, I could wait, I guess, but we'll still do it. But yeah, we can get arms kind of done here. We can do this. It doesn't really matter. Hell yeah. Looking good. You know what? I'm sorry. I have to take a little deviation here. Brother, Instagram song. Is this song a... Is this a real song? Okay, I think it is a real song. Maybe it is. Every once in a while, a snippet of a song does very well on like Instagram or TikTok, and then I realize, oh, that's not a real song. That's just an AI bullshit. But I think, as far as I can tell, the hell yeah, shit yeah, fuck yeah, brother song is real. I think it's real. I'm gonna open this up and see. Okay, yeah. Let me see this guy. Okay, yeah, all right. Jarris Johnson is I think a real person. He seems to be a real person. Okay. It just occurred to me, folks, that I was like, wait, is that a fucking fake song? Because it's been in my head a lot. I keep doing the part of it because it's catchy. All right. So Jarris Johnson appeals to be a real person that doesn't use AI. Okay, yeah. He seems to be real. I mean, who knows who's real, but he seems to be... He's been making music since you couldn't use AI to make music, so... That makes me think that maybe he's real. All right. He's got albums out. Okay, good for him. And some singles. Oh, he did that Last Resort remix from the 2020 that was pretty good. Okay. Yeah, all right. I don't know Jarris Johnson, but he seems to be a real person. So good. It's just a thing. It's a point of contention with me. Because sometimes there's a thing like the fucking orchestral version of Thong Song where you're like, that's excellent. Oh, that's AI? Fuck that. It is really well done, but it used AI instead of like someone making it, you know, with an orchestra. And it's just like, that fucking sucks. Because it is well done, but it is AI fucking bullshit. And so we're not a fan. What I personally am a fan of is opportunities to talk to you about ways you can support me and what I do here. If you are currently a subscriber to the Bill Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote into the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or through your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link it with your Twitch. You get a token. You can use that token for anybody. And here's a shocker. You can use it on me, your friend Pat. You can just decide, hey, I want to support what Pat's doing here. I got this token, I'll use it. Or again, Cash Money. You could also gift a sub. As you are well aware, I currently am at 24 subscribers, and my goal is to get to 30 subscribers. And when I do get to 30, a thing that is going to happen is I'm going to shut up about how many subscribers I have. So if you wanted that to happen sooner than later, you could just gift a sub. You could be the first one to do it this month, and you'd be in the gift sub leaderboard, and that's cool. Bits and coins also always appreciated. Now, I should say, a little stress right now. There are other ways to support me, and you don't have to do any of them. You don't have to support me in any way. You being here is enough. You don't have to financially help me out. But if you wanted to, I'm going to give you some options. Like I said, Twitch, easiest way, you're already here anyway. Patreon, patreon.com/PatBear. Over in my Patreon, there's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. So that is another way to help me out. My patrons voted on this kit. My $10 patrons voted on this kit for me to build. So I'm happy for them, for that, because I've been wanting to work on this. I also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. And guess what? Subscribing to me on YouTube also helps me out. You can do that for free, of course. And if you want to become a member on YouTube for $2 a month, you'll get my Wednesday videos a day early. So Pon no Michi, which we'll talk about later, you would have seen the 1-minute video about how that's a fucking kick-ass cool anime. You would have been already seen that video before other people saw it. Kind of neat. If you don't want to monthly support me, because those are monthly ways, you just want to throw something in the tip jar, I do have a way to do that. I do have a Ko-Fi and a PayPal, and you can always drop some cash that way. Everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, which includes AdSense, through Patreon, and through Twitch, all goes into a fund, and from that fund, I pull money out to buy model kits. It is a way to support what I do here. And Lego sets and equipment. I have to buy gear now and again. I've been looking at this like tiny light bar thing that is like, it would like come up like this on either side and go across. Like, I'm looking at that because I'm like, that could be good. I'm not saying it would be good, but it could be good. And maybe I want to do that. This like little light bar that goes across and over. And I can position it so the overhead camera wouldn't see it. That might work. That might be nice. Instead of having 2 big lamps on here, I might have that. And it also would bleed onto my face. I'm like, okay. That might work out. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I haven't made any purchases, but I'm thinking about it. But your support means I can do all kinds of stuff like that. It's fucking great. I appreciate it. Now, I did say that I had a backlog of stuff that I'm working on right now. I have stuff that I can build. If you would like to decide what I'm building next, you could make it so that I have to build the thing you want me to build by buying it off my Amazon wish list. Over on the wish list, there are model kits and Lego sets, inexpensive kits, expensive kits, unbelievably expensive kits, kits that are free with Amazon Prime shipping, kits that are not. Recently added the G-Quux White Gundam, which is the RX-782 G-Quux style. I would like to build that. It's maybe the kit I want to build the most out of any of the G-Quux kits. So I got that on the wish list. There's also an entry grade, which is the introductory grade for model kit building. There is a new entry grade for the Wing Gundam, and I would like to see how that looks because I also love the Wing Gundam. I want to know, does that kit have a transformation? Is there a $12 model kit that transforms? I bet it doesn't, but I want to know. I want to know without looking it up, is what I'm saying. So you can pick that up for me to build. Yeah, model kits, Lego sets, inexpensive things, expensive things, all kinds of things and things. See if there's something there you'd like to see me put together. There's some Lego stuff that's on sale right now. If you'd rather get me some Lego, you could do that as well. One sec. I have a wish list on Throne. That is my alternative to Amazon, and we'll get back to building real soon. I just want to quickly get through some of this stuff. But yeah, if you want to support me, you can always buy something at Throne, or you can go to USA Gundam Store. And USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card. They will send you an email with the gift card code, and then you can send me a whisper here on Twitch or a private message on Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card code. Yes. And I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. If you want to support me, but you don't have the money to spend, or you just don't want to spend the money, you can always join my Discord for free. There are a couple other things Oh, Lastbrook just resubbed 99 months. Thank you so much, saying, doing it the old-fashioned way as I no longer have Prime. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for using that. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego Scythe Tier 2 Blue Emote. Whoops, wrong button. We'll thank Lashbrook for the continued support. Thank you, Lashbrook. So some notes in the chat. Yeah, I understand. I still have Prime because it is unfortunately where I get the majority of my model kits. And also, it's got a wish list if people want to buy stuff for me to build. And then I do also watch some anime on Prime now and again. 2 of my favorite shows last year were on Prime. My second favorite anime of 2025 was on Prime. So there you go. I do want to say that there is a thing you can do. If you want to support me here, there are 2 things you can do for free that will actually help me out quite a bit. The first one is, we got a hype train incoming. That's interesting. Why is a hype train coming in? Was it just because you have limited time to earn exclusive emotes? I don't know why a hype train is starting because only one person subbed, but I don't know. For whatever reason, a hype train is here. So I don't know. You can get in on the hype train if you want. I don't know why that has started, but it has. If you want to gift a sub or subscribe yourself, get in on the train and ride it, I guess. It's a choo-choo train. 2 things. On mobile, if you watch YouTube videos on mobile, if that's how you like to watch YouTube, go to any of my videos and hit the hype button. Hype is only on mobile, and it's not like a like, and it's not like a share. The hype button makes it so if there's enough hype on a video, it might get sent to more people. And I don't know why, and I don't know why it's only on mobile, but that's free, and that is a way to help me out. So if you're on my YouTube, you can hit the hype button. The other thing is, this has not been confirmed by anybody, but it's starting to seem like views only count apparently Twitch is starting to not count views if you have a tab, if you have it in a tab that you're not actively looking at. That's what it sounds like right now. And I know that's not how some people just want to hear what's going on. They just have it in a tab, they're in another tab. So if you want to put it in a window and look at it and have me on another monitor, you watch how you want to watch. I'm just letting you know, it seems like Twitch has changed the thing and views are going down for a lot of people, even though chat is more active than it would be otherwise. And that's maybe why, is because people who watch and they tab away and they don't look at it, or an ad plays and they tab away. Because an ad plays, that won't happen to me, but I don't know. Seems bad, but it is a thing, so I did want to bring it up. Now is the part of the stream where I'm going to drink some water, and then we're going to get ready to talk about some anime. Sorry, I forgot because I got in this tangent. 2 quick things. I'll have a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club up on Monday. The most recent episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club is me talking about some of my favorite shows that I always return to. And the next video is also going to be positive. I'm going to talk about some of my favorite original anime of the 2020s. I'll let you know right now. I'm going to do positive videos in a row. Pretty crazy. I felt like the last year I was a little too negative on Pat Bear's Anime Club, so I'm trying to change that up. I'll still look. I'm going to talk about the Crunchyroll Awards once the nominations are out, and I bet the nominations will piss me off. So I bet there'll be a video coming up next month that will still be negative. And then Kuma Baer. Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. I talked about the anime Pon no Michi, which is about girls hanging out at a former Mahjong club and learning how to play Mahjong and playing Mahjong with each other. And it's a very fun girls doing things show. And also, one of the girls can talk to a bird, which contains the spirit of a professional Mahjong player or a Mahjong spirit. It's very unclear. It's silly. It's very good. Little touch of supernatural, but also just girls doing things. It's fun. Indeed, Lord Crashton, you can do positive videos. I'm trying to be more positive about Pat Bear's Anime Club, and there'll still be negative videos, like I said, but I'm trying to do a little bit more. Now is the part of the stream where I'm going to transition back to the overhead camera. We're going to get back to model kit building. I'm going to talk, if I can, about some anime that I've been watching. And then also, a dramatic song is going to play while I drink water. And we'll do all of that right now. All right. I had just taken a sip before, so I didn't need it as bad. Okay. Let's get some arm parts completed here. We can do all of this at the same time. These arms are completely symmetrical, which rules for me. The angry anime nerd? No, I'm not that. I felt like if I look at my anime club playlist, if I go to youtube.com/PatBear, and I look at my playlist for that, oh, the hype train has been completed. Okay. I don't know why that happened like that, but sure, it did. But yeah, if I go to the playlist and I look to see like anime club playlist, why can't I find? There it is. Whoop, and then oh, you didn't hear audio. I had it muted. Sorry. You didn't even hear that transition audio that played. So my apologies. And the clapping. You didn't hear the clapping. Well, we'll at least do that. We'll at least have the clapping play for Lashbrook, who renewed a sub and used cash money instead of Prime. So we'll do that. So most rewatch shows, positive. 4 winter anime shows, positive. Shows I hated but finished, negative. That's negative. Shows I hated, but finished anyway. And then top 10 anime of 2020, obviously still positive. My anime awards, mixed, positive, negative. My explanation of what Ocean Veil is, negative, because that service sucks. Fall recommendations, obviously positive. Rewatch Devilman Crybaby, positive. I'm not mentioning my recommendations and my talking about all the isekai. A fourth video about weird manga. Okay, so yeah, that's positive. Great anime based on a video game. So I guess it hasn't been as negative as I thought it was. If I'm looking there, animes I love on the rewatch. Shows I regret recommending. That's negative. Sure. My episode about the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, which was fairly negative. Worst reveals and twists. Yeah, that's negative. My voting guide. For obscure anime recommendations. That's not the joy of being anime only. That's good. 6 complete and translated manga. Yeah, so 2025 wasn't as negative as I thought it was. Turns out, wasn't actually as negative as I thought it was, but, still felt a little negative to me. So I'm trying to just be more positive. It probably actually wasn't reflecting reality, but it felt like I was being more negative in videos than I care to. So I think that's a fine enough, maybe it's an overcorrection, but it felt necessary, so that's what I'm doing. We're going to continue working in the arms here while we talk about some anime that I am enjoying. We'll talk about episodes 8 of Frieren and episode, I believe, 10. Let me look at my notes. 10 of Easygoing Territorial Defense by the Optimistic Lord. So we'll get into all those episodes right meow. It's going to be B2 12, 13, and 3. 3 goes here. So Frieren, action-packed. We left off. They're fighting a big demon, a 6-armed sword demon. There are some other demons who haven't necessarily been named. Everyone got split up. The guys are together, and then Frieren and Fern are together, and then Methode is alone. So Revolt is the demon who it would be great if they had some magic users going after this guy. Our two boys are definitely struggling. It's definitely rough out there for them. They can't beat him with skill, so they're going to try trickery. Stark takes a hit. He gets injured on purpose to distract Revolte for a moment to allow Geno to hit him, and cuts off his tail and severely injures the guy. So great. Job is not done, but they did get, they did do some heavy damage to him. So that's excellent. But the demon uses fucking tricks. Because of course he does. He convinces, with enough doubt, that there's a child still on the battlefield. There isn't one. It's obvious. But the threat is enough that child is a demon in disguise, of course, and our guy, one of our guys gets stabbed, and he's severely wounded. But that demon does get killed, like, pretty easily. And then our demon is just like, all right, this helps support my theory this whole time. Humans care about their young. It's just like, yeah, dude. Yes, they do. You're learning. Let's see. And then we get a flashback about Janu's old partner and how he died helping someone, and he fell for a trick as well. And apparently Janu was like, he died magnificently. So even though this guy is pretty cold, it turns out he does have some feeling, and he does have he did have feelings for his partner, even though he doesn't really show them. So that's a nice little flashback. But hey, guess what? Stark isn't down. He's hurt. He's definitely hurt, but he's not out. So the two of them maybe still have a chance to make this work. It's going to be very difficult, but they might be able to pull this thing off. Meanwhile, our ladies have been separated, and there's a fog. One of the demons is putting fog out there, so that's tough. Let's see. Fern has been fighting the fog demon, and she's trying to be stealthy, but the demon can sense where she is, which is obviously not great. And Methode is still fighting. So she realizes we gotta get rid of this fucking fog. If this fog goes, we've got a fighting chance here. So she starts using illusions to kind of waste time while she's preparing her magic. And so she eventually analyzes the spell and dispels the fog, and then the fog demon just gets killed, and the other demon gets defeated, and Frieren didn't do shit. But it was good for Fern to get some licks in, so that's good. And then one of the demon that Fern was fighting is named Hemung, and Hemung is done. But yeah, they got through the demons they needed to get to. Back at the fight with Revolt, another sword gets broken, and they're like, we can't kill this guy, but if we destroy all his swords, maybe we can stall long enough for us to get reunited, and then they can take him out with magic. So like, that's kind of their plan, is let's just fucking destroy all his swords. So they do, and they break all his weapons, but he can fucking cheat. He can extend his arms like blades, and he stabs both of them. That was probably his, like, you know, his trump, his ace in the hole, his, like, hidden technique or whatever. And it is unfortunately very effective because it does fuck them both up real good. And so he starts mocking them. And of course, that is his hubris. Should he have just killed them? Yes, but demons are about enjoying the fight. Stark, completely fucked up, grits his teeth, bears down, uses his strength and his tenacity, because that is genuinely Stark's biggest advantage, is that he's just like gonna fucking get the job done. And he's going to grit his teeth, and he's going to bear it, and he's going to put up with... Oh, I dropped him. He's going to put up with bullshit. And he does get the fatal blow, and they both pass out, and they wake up being healed because everybody survived, and everybody got their fucking job done. And the party is celebrating for a bit. And we see a little bit of that, and then after some time passes, they go their separate ways, because this is a temporary party to complete a mission. This is not a long-term thing. They both have different objectives. And like I said, the action was very fucking good. This was a great episode of Frieren. There are 3 more episodes left this season. I can't wait for more. God, I love Frieren. I love Frieren. I should put that on a shirt. But man, I love Frieren is too many words probably. So I'll just do like the first letter of each word and put that on a shirt, and everyone will know what I mean, right? Everybody will know if I wear a shirt that says the letters, you know, for man, I love Frieren on a shirt. That'll be fine, right? Nothing could happen for that. I'll let you figure out what the letters are. I won't say them, but yeah, I'll just put that on a t-shirt, and everybody will know. And they'll be like, oh yeah, that guy loves Frieren. Yeah. I made a joke. I don't do them all the time, but when I do them, they are jokes. They count. That counts as a joke. Was it a good joke? No, not really. Is this A16? This might not be the right piece. Let me look. I was so busy making my MILF joke that I don't even know if I have the right piece on here. Okay, but how does that go in? This goes like this. And this goes that. That don't seem right. So we'll go like this. Nope. That's A16. Then is that an A19 or 8? Okay, yeah, these are the wrong pieces. Is that like glad I learned fractions? Yes. Very similar. John. Okay, so that wasn't the right number. I was like, this piece doesn't seem right because it wasn't correct. That's generally a good rule of thumb, Dirty, is when you're like, this piece doesn't seem like it's the right piece. It's probably not, and you probably just fucked up. Not all the time. Not every time, but often. Also, hi, Dirty. Happy you're here. All right, let's talk about episode 10 of Easygoing Territory Defense by the Optimistic Lord, which is a good little show. At the end of the last episode, we got visited by the king, Dino. Dino showed up and was just like, hey, what the fuck? Why is this place so strong? Why do you have so many strongholds? Like, are you going to attack the kingdom? It's like, no, but check out all this cool stuff. He's like, oh, all right. I'll make it so that this place, like, whatever, we're going to handle these things. We're going to make it so you're, defense of various locations and all that. This seems good. And he's like, hey, explain how this thing works and explain how this thing works. He's very interested. Sorry, I don't know how this piece goes in here, so I'm trying to figure it out. Occasionally, these instructions leave something to be desired. All right. See, I would say it would go like that, but that's not. Goes like that. It goes like that. Huh? That don't seem right. That doesn't seem right. So if it doesn't go like that, does it go like this? That doesn't seem right either. None of these seem right. Sorry, everybody. I don't know why this isn't working the way I want it to, but it's not. Yeah, when it goes like that, it's on a weird angle, and that doesn't seem correct. Oh, okay. So when I look at this photo here, it is on an angle. So that is supposed to be the way it goes. All right. So this is, even though this looks weird as hell, this is apparently correct. So, all right, I guess. This looks wrong. It looks wrong, but it's not wrong. I don't know. We'll find out as I move on to the next step, which is E2, 5, E1, 5, and 6. I need some blue. All right, let's talk about that. Yeah, so a wyvern had shown up and was getting ready to attack the village. And the wyvern has a mage riding on it. So it's a tamed wyvern, which is obviously trouble. And the king is just like, I bet that we are under attack by the kingdom of Yelenetta. And then also, yeah, that is the case because the wyvern was the first volley, and then a bunch of knights show up. And they're led by one of the princes of the kingdom, Unmog. And he is convinced that, because he's like, this town isn't a big deal, because their intel is out of date. And he's like, the big walls around the city, that must be an illusion, or they're fake, they're hollow or something. And so he's just like, attack, and it doesn't do anything. And then, our guy Van greets him, and apparently their attack was supposed to be, they weren't supposed to know who they were, which is silly. So he's like, all right, hey, have the wyvern attack this guy. Well, don't worry about it, because because Panamera, the warrior lady, she's got her crew, and they fire a rampart. And they do basically Van made a big ballista that fires shuriken into the air, which is I don't know if you know, fucking cool as hell. So a bunch of shuriken fly out, which of course really fucks up the wyvern. Okay, so medieval flak cannon, yes. In a manner of speaking. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out. This goes like that. This goes like that. Then this goes on the other side. That? No. That goes like. Yes, okay, so that goes like that. And that looks like that. This arm has stuff that I'm just like, what's your deal? What are we doing here? Just enough of that to make me confused on this build. Because I know this is how this goes together, but I'm like trying to figure out where this piece goes on this. This like that? Is that how you work? Huh. Okay. But then this isn't connected. There it goes. All right. Yeah, these arms are weird, man. Weird ass arms. All right, I got that one together. So let's see if I can get the other one together. Yeah, these arms are strange. Don't love them. So they take care of the wyvern. That's done. And then also the knights around this point are freaked out, but also notice that the king of the kingdom they're invading is there, and they're like, "Oh, we're fucking done." So they surrender. But the prince is like, "I'm not," and then he gets forced into. He's basically captured. He at one point thinks he's gonna go down fighting, but then he just gets his clock cleaned, and so he's like, "Oh yeah, all right. Well, I'm not. I guess I surrender." And Dino is just like, he's like understanding of what's going on, but he has a moment where he's like, maybe I gotta rethink everything. This kid is so goddamn strong, and like took down a wyvern. He's the thing he built. He's like, maybe I need to rethink everything, which is fair because that is crazy that they took down, a junior-sized dragon with very little effort because this guy built a cool thing using his skills. So they interrogate him, and they learn that they're invading a bunch of kingdoms. They're doing like an assault. They're just basically not necessarily trying to take over the kingdoms, but trying to steal a bunch of territory. And the next is the fortress city, the nearby fortress city. And so Dino's just like, "Hey, I want you to help out." And Dino says, "Sure." And he gets a bunch of people together. A lot of the people from the show are together. And then Panamera is like, "I gotta go and meet up at my house, but I'll make sure everything's okay there, and then I'll meet you later." So they're going off alone. Meanwhile, the dad. Now you may remember this whole thing. This is a banished show. Our main character doesn't have like fire magic or anything like that. Doesn't have an elemental attack magic, and his father is too obsessed. The Maquis is too obsessed with that, so that's why he sent his son to the out of sight, out of mind in a village on the frontier, and he refuses to believe that Van has like killed a dragon and impressed all these people and has a fiance or anything like that. Like. With like a big deal partner and all that. Refuses to believe that. He shows up with his people to this place that they're trying to protect. It's already been taken over. And then his forces get defeated. And it's looking not particularly good for Van's dad. But then, let's see. But then their wyvern leave, which is surprising, because they're dealing with this shit that fucking rules. Okay, so in the previous episode, Arut, the young girl who was kind of also banished, who is learning a lot and strength, has always thought that her ability, which is just marionette, she can control marionettes and puppets and stuff. She thought it was creepy and that people wouldn't like it, but Van thought it was beautiful. And so they built her a goddamn war marionette. She's got this cool, like, armored sword carrying, like, so she's doing this dance with it, and this thing is just whipping asses, and I remember this being very cool in the manga, and it's very, very cool in the anime, because it's just this, like, it's just a marionette dancing with weapons and kicking a bunch of asses. And it was, I remember, like, when it came, and I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. And of course, it was the manga, so it was like a few chapters in between. But in the anime, it's just the next chapter, or the next anime episode. So it came pretty quickly. But it is pretty fucking awesome. It's a good little scene. I gotta get these on. So a lot of stuff on this kit just feels like finicky, which is weird. But again, it is a kit from 2015, so it ain't perfect. But a few of these things, like, I don't think it's the instruction manual. I just think it's the build itself is a little wonky here and there. So yeah, the puppet whips ass. Van's group gets discovered but gets overwhelmed. They overwhelm them. And then more enemy soldiers arrive, so Van decides it's time for a strategic retreat. And they're going to get ready for another counterattack to try to take this city that's fallen. Dino shows up. And Van's dad gives him a report, and which leads Dino to think, oh, you survived somehow, and there was a counterattack. Okay. And pretty much concludes that Dino saved, or Van saved the day, which is true. And meanwhile, Van's older brother, who did his best, he couldn't really help him too much because his dad's fucking stupid in that regard, but did, like, try his best, is so proud. He's so happy that Van is doing so well. And Jalpa, his dad, is like, kind of, he's shocked that Van has, like, blossomed into such a leader and is so skilled. Which, again, I have to remind you, this is a kid, because he's isekai, this was a kid genius. This was the one that was, like, helping with everybody and had knowledge of military maneuvers and, like, governance, and was, like, a fucking genius, and everyone respected. And then they found out his magic was creation magic, and they were like, oh, well, every creation magician we know doesn't have a lot of mana, so they can't really do anything. And it was like, you already know he has a lot of mana. So it's like, all of these, like, banished ones are often very silly. This one was particularly foolish because it was just like, ain't no way you would get rid of this guy. Like, you just lie and say he has a fire or whatever, and then he just makes fire weapons. And you're like, yeah, he's a special case. Whatever. Who cares? But, that's before that, pride is a different thing. I gotta acknowledge that. Sometimes people are just blinded and foolish. Anyway, Van has been thinking of new weapons to fight this enemy, and he creates a catapult, which is going to be important for their plan. And now we are caught up with the manga, because, of course, this is based on the light novel, and I don't know what happens. Which is interesting. That's always the interesting thing for me, where the anime gets ahead of where the manga is. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to be surprised what happens on from here. We had let's see if we're okay. We got a little blip there. But otherwise, we're doing all right. So yeah, fun episode. Some the marionette fucking up soldiers is the best part. Rut being the hero is just very fun. Of course, he made the marionette because he's got creation magic, so it is a team effort. It is the first team effort of this soon-to-be engaged couple, and that's cute and fun. I think I assembled this incorrectly. I gotta see. Yeah, I think this is wrong. All right, yeah, I think I have assembled these wrong here, and that's going to be annoying to get right. Because I think, let's see. Yeah, I did this wrong. Damn. All right, I put these in wrong, so I'm going to see if I can pop this out with any of my tools. There. Okay, so now let's see if I can get these correct, and then we can panel line these bottom parts of the arm, and then put some hands on it, and then we'll be done with the top half of this kit, which is a lot. Let's see if I can get these separated here. Yeah, oh, there it goes. Okay, so let's see if I can get these collected or connected correctly, and then I'll panel line these bottom parts. All right, so I gotta have this down here. I gotta have this like this. This is how this goes. And then this piece is the down bend is at the back, and that's like that. Okay, so yes, and that also goes together way easier like that. And that goes in like that. And then this goes in like that. And there's the arm. The arm is done. The arm bends like that. And then we'll hit with a little bit of marker just on the red there. Cool. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? What do you got going on? I always love hearing from you about those things. So please feel free to let me know what the deal is and what you got going, what's happening. I didn't do a lot today. I did cook for myself. My folks went out for dinner, so I was in charge of my own meal. I do a lot of cooking around here, but I don't often cook for myself, just me. And I made too much fried rice. I had all the ingredients, and I wanted to use up the onion that we had cut up already. And so I made pork fried rice, and it was fucking really good. And I have enough leftovers for lunch tomorrow, and also for a little bit for like a snack, or for like maybe like after dinner while I'm watching wrestling. I'll get the rest of that cooked up. But it's real good. I did a real good job with that. Very tasty. But I made a double batch because I had like too much pork for just like a cup of rice and some veggies. So I did 2 cups of rice and kind of doubled everything. And now, like I said, now I have enough left over for lunch, and I'm very happy about that. It tasted real fucking good. And I was so focused on my curry recipes in February that I didn't make fried rice, which I always make a lot of. So I was like, oh, I gotta do that. So I was very happy. I was very happy with how that turned out. Let's get our hands together. Well, I give you time to write in the chat what you're up to. Let's just see. Also, AW Revolution, no update on anything. It looks like that was the last update. Okay. Yeah, all right. So the card is set. So I got to edit that tonight. I got to edit what am I going to do? Yeah, I got to do sorry. I do my pick'em. Update my pick'em and then put the link out. Other than that, Hearthstone, new expansion coming out, so I've been kind of just finishing stuff up, getting stuff ready for that. You know, trying to get things done for the for all of that nonsense coming up with the new expansion coming out on Tuesday. The basic idea is there are weekly quests, and I don't want to finish any weekly quest on Monday because I want to save all of the experience stuff on the because there's a battle pass. There's the free battle pass and then the paid battle pass, and I always do the free battle pass because I'm free to play on Hearthstone. I have been for now like 10 years or 8 years or something, some crazy number. I've been free to play on there only. But basically, I want to get all the experience points I can for the weeklies done on Tuesday, and including the Monday daily. I don't want to do my daily because you can have up to 3. So I just want to do a little bit of that, but I don't want to finish it. So that way on Tuesday, while I'm playing, I'll get a bunch of experience and get farther in the battle pass than I would otherwise, which will be pretty good. It'll work out pretty okay for your friend Pat. All right, let's do A12 and A22. 22. Oops, I dropped the thing. I'm gonna get it. These sprues keep hooking into one another when I grab them. I think my table was a little too far away, which is now at the end of the stream. It makes perfect sense for me to wait until the end of the stream to realize that, but it is what it is. Lashbrook watched Mystery Wrestling today, which is a lot of fun. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I didn't end up getting to catch it. The main event was legit great. A match broke out into Suddenly Seymour, so I had to rewatch Little Shop of Horrors, which is still a great movie. Yes, it's only been like a year and a half since I last saw Little Shop of Horrors, and that is a phenomenal movie. And the music just the song Suddenly Seymour fucking whips ass. It's just such a beautiful, gorgeous song. God, so good. You'll Be a Dentist, banger. Laura Crash says, I went to the theater to see TMNT 2 Secret of the Use for its 35th anniversary. When I started reading that sentence and I was like, wait, what? And then it made sense, which was a lot of fun. I mean, I think I like the first movie better than the second movie. I think the second movie is still fun to watch. Seeing it in a theater would be fun. The video before the movie featured Kevin Eastman talking about making of the movie, where they had more TMNT stuff going on to influence it versus the original movie, kind of just having the comics to rely on. Though the video also had a weird live action turtle fighting bad dudes that didn't look great. Sure. Downtown is yes, Lashbrook. Downtown is also. I mean, Downtown is great. Down on Skid Row. Wait, is that Downtown? Skid Row. Yeah, Skid Row is unbelievable song as well. Down on Skid Row. Fantastic songs in Suddenly Seymour. Dirty picked up Docked yesterday and felt pretty dang relaxing and a bit of time travel game as I popped into and then suddenly hours later. Yes. Yeah, I don't know which it's called, but we're thinking about the same one. Yes, I think we're talking about Down on Skid Row, which is a phenomenal song. And yeah, if that's your favorite, like totally. That's awesome, Dirty. I'm glad. I do want to play a little bit of Place to Place, a game that I mentioned earlier that I picked up that I don't have plans to stream this month because I have other stuff to do. Again, reminder on Tuesday. On Tuesday, we will, of course, be working on the first bonus map for Power Wash Simulator 2, the Miniature Garden. I'm excited to frolic in a garden with y'all and get some important power washing done. We'll get some of that done, and that'll be great. And then yeah, that'll be obviously we're gonna work on this kit on Monday, which will be the next stream that we have together is on Monday. We're getting a little bit of this feet done here because we finished up, so now we're going to start at the bottom and work way up. I'm just going to do that, and that's probably going to be the last thing we do is just getting the feet started. We won't finish the feet or finish the fight, as it were, but we'll get started. But yeah, I have to, figure out who we're going to raid and all that and wrap up the stream, and then I got to watch Collision because there's the pay-per-view tomorrow, so I want to watch the show before the pay-per-view. Even though it was filmed on Wednesday, so I kind of know some of the stuff that happened. Still got to figure that out. I still want to watch a show. So some good matches here on the card, so I want to see that. Check that shit out. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, feet are done. And the next time we meet, which will be on Monday, I will continue to work on this model kit. It's looking great. It's a weird kit. There's some quirks to this kit that I'm confused by, but overall, I've enjoyed working on it so far. And that is going to do it for tonight's stream. We are going to wrap up there. And of course, we are going to go find somebody doing cool stuff because we always end with a raid. And so we're going to go find somebody and go raid them. Somebody, that I know doing cool shit out there, or maybe it won't be somebody I actually know. It'll be a always on channel that is run by somebody that I know. And that is this case. We're going to go hang out with Giant Bomb Forever, and hang out with them. Right now, I can't read what this is. Oh, hey, apparently Giant Bomb Forever made partner. Congratulations. A always on channel of content not owned by the person running it is now a partner. That's cool. Good on ya. But yeah, we're going to go hang out with Giant Bomb Forever. That's wild. Good for them. Thanks so much for being here. I hope you come along on this raid. I hope you can come back on Monday as I continue working on this fantastic model kit. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope to see you on the next stream. Let's go on this raid, and then we'll have a great rest of your weekend. Talk to you soon, everybody. Goodbye.